Welcome to Easy Money MMA. Let's look at last week's result. I absolutely killed it. 17 plays with 6 plays with a parlay piece from the next event. Did not lose one single unit. If you guys tell me from last week, you should be feeling really good. So 2 of our biggest parlay piece, Leroy Duncan and Elijah Smith, complete domination. Was very comfortable to look at their fights. Was not in any danger at all, basically. It's about time that we're not so unlucky and get some crazy upsets like Kevin Holland, who survived JDM for 3 rounds, somehow loses against Rodriguez, one of the sloppiest fighters on the feet. There's definitely some weird split decisions. John Matsumoto very obviously won round 2 and 3. Very crazy that one of the judges gave it to Miles John. Uros Medic looked really dangerous like he always is. Way better striker on the feet. Fluffy Hernandez, complete domination. I would have actually played a bit more units, but I was just being a little conservative since Delize is a really good grappler. But Fluffy was very smart. He did not engage Delize's grappling at all, was staying very safe, just picking him apart on the feet. Completely melted him and gassed him out. Incredible performance. It was a really sick fight. The only one that got me nervous was Steve Erceg, man. I think these catch weight fights doesn't really make sense. Like, not cutting weight is actually such a huge advantage. Like, you saw what Danny Ige was able to do to Lerone Murphy. You saw what James Longtop was able to do to Huffy. Like, not having to cut weight just makes him have way better cardio, bigger, stronger, such a big advantage. If you just look at Ode Osborne, he was so fast, so much bigger in the first round. But yeah, Steve Erceg was able to make the adjustments and get on the grappling, had control on the 3rd round. 2nd round edged it a bit, but was still pretty close. Was very happy to get the win. Definitely got me nervous a little bit. But yeah, let's keep the gains train rolling. Plan to get clean sweeps like this over and over again. Okay, so for this week, UFC 319, I have quite a few positions for you guys. A few really high value ones too, in my opinion. So the first bet will be Chase Hooper. If you look at Chase Hooper, he's very, very talented. He makes drastic improvements every fight, especially on the feet. He's gaining a lot of confidence, dropping Borshev in the 1st round right away. Completely grapple control Jim Miller for the entire fight. Might be one of the best grappler in the division for sure. And if you look at his podcast, he's a very intelligent guy. I really like his mindset as well. If you look at Alex Hernandez, Hernandez is pretty undersized. And I feel like to be able to beat Chase Hooper, you got to do what Steve Garcia does. Have like crazy danger factor, like really take him out, or be someone like Ilia Topuria who just has like insane power. And Hernandez doesn't really have that. He had a really close fight with Austin Hubbard and Kurt Holloway. I don't feel like that was a good look at all because they're both like pretty low level competition compared to Chase Hooper, who just dominated Jim Miller, who's a pretty crafty vet. It's definitely not at the same level in my opinion. I feel like if he can get controlled by Damon Jackson, like being held on the ground and just grapple control by Damon Jackson, I don't think he'll be able to survive Chase Hooper's grappling because he can do it much better. I got him at minus 230 price tag. He's at minus 270 now. I still feel like this is a really good position. And if you followed me last week, I already told you that this is a parlay piece we could use to parlay with Christian Leroy or Elijah Smith last week. I'm playing up to 4 units on Chase Hooper. This is a very confident position. I really don't see him losing. Like, I feel very comfortable having high units on him at the moment. Okay, so the next bet of this week is Dricus du Plessis at plus 175 right now. This is a super good price tag. I feel like this is like a situation where like the fighter is kind of just overhyped because of where he comes from and like his aura, you know. But if you look really closely at some of Hamzat's previous fight against Gilbert Burns, that was honestly like so close that you could argue that Gilbert Burns should have gotten the win, and he was not able to control him at all. That was not a very good look. And another fight to look out is fighting against Usman. Usman took the fight short notice, like a week or 2 short notice, and was still able to defend all the takedowns and made it a really, really close fight. So that's also not a good look. Usman is also 170 pounder. Gilbert Burns is a 170 pounder, not especially big as well. And Dracus, he walks around at 240 pounds, a huge middleweight. I honestly think his strength and physicality will play a big factor in this. I think he can survive the 1st round and destroy Hamzat. Because the way Hamzat fights, he actually gasses out quite often. If you look at him like busting his load, he doesn't look good after round 2. And I feel like Dricus with his crazy gas tank will be able to destroy him at the later rounds if he doesn't get finished in the 1st round. So I'm playing 1 unit on Dricus. But Dricus also haven't fought like really high level wrestler and grappler as well. So this is also just just a theory. Like we haven't seen him really proven that or seen much of his grappling as well. So I'm not willing to put in like crazy amounts of unit on him. But playing one unit at plus 175 feels really good right now. So the third bet of this week is Carlos Prates. I got him at minus 230. He started at minus 400 actually. A lot of people taking the dog action at Jeff Neal. I feel like this is a good matchup for Prates. Even though he lost his last fight against Ian Gary, but that's a complete different matchup. Like Ian Gary was able to be really mobile and stay at a really far distance and kind of just pick him apart at range. I feel like with someone is really plotty and doesn't move in and out or lateral movements as much, those kind of fighters will have trouble against Prates, who's a really clean sniper. I feel like he'll be able to clip Jeff Neal on the feet. But Jeff Neal is also a dog, man. Like he's able to go in and out and throw in some pretty sick combos with his punches in the pocket. That's actually quite dangerous as well. So I can see him going in the pocket and force it to become a dirty boxing fight, kind of put the pressure on Prates. But I feel like this is a pretty good stylistic matchup for Prates since he hits hard, he's a sniper, and Jeff Neal can be pretty plotty. So I'm willing to put 0.5 unit on him. Okay, so last bit of this week is Paddy. Yeah, at this moment, I think Justin Gaethje, like if you look at him, everyone keeps talking about him having like crazy power, but when was the last time he actually like knocked out and finished someone? That was a very long time ago. And Paddy has a really good chin, never got knocked out before. Justin Gaethje, 36 years old, Paddy much younger, and you saw his improvement, completely dominated Michael Chandler. That was a really crazy performance. He picked him apart on the feet, was able to take Michael Chandler down at will and dominate him in the grappling. When did you see Chandler got finished in such a brutal fashion? Looked like a corpse at the end. Blood dripping down from his head, just looked like a zombie. That was a really sick performance, complete domination. And I feel like Paddy has a confidence, he has a really sick mindset, and his overall game is just so much better than Gaethje. Like Gaethje has historically been quite vulnerable to grapplers and wrestlers if you look at how he loses to submissions. So I feel like Paddy has quite a few routes to be able to win the fight. I already played half a unit on him, parlayed him with a play from last week, half a unit. I'm still thinking of how many units I'm playing on this. I'm still sitting on this, but at least half a unit at minus 200 feels really good. Another play that I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm still looking into is Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott being 38, also been sitting out for 2 years at the flyweight division where the age really matters a lot. When do you see a 38-year-old flyweight that actually does very well? And Kai is at his peak. He beat Juan Archuleta, ending his 4 winning streak. Also beat Manel Kape from a long time ago. I rate that win very highly. He's definitely at his prime and still has a lot to give. I feel like Tim Elliott is definitely a step down compared to the opponents that he had. So I'm probably going to put a play on him. Not sure how much, but at least half a unit. Okay, so that's about it. This is a really sick event. I hope you guys enjoy and tell the bets. I'm telling you guys where exactly I'm putting my money so you guys can enjoy the gains. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.